Jason, it's good to see you, man. Seriously, it's been an honor today. You know, like for real, man. Like, you know, I found you obviously just on the Ethernet, and I was like, man, this dude's so amazing. And then to actually have you come in and not only teach like boxing lessons that were hilarious, which we were talking in the back, we were like, what a better way to learn than just to laugh and actually learn real technique from a badass. And then hearing your education, you know, I hope that everyone's already watched this before they've watched this interview and are already inspired by you. And so one thing, you've said so many good things, so I don't want to just like reiterate because they're going to hear it, you know, but one thing we were talking about in the back, and maybe it was even in the car ride up, you were talking a few times about the light and the dark and how you grew up utilizing the dark. You grew up utilizing that destructive part of yourself, and then somehow you found the light, and you found like that tool was just as powerful, maybe even more powerful. And I like to talk about like, what was that part of your life, that switch where you were able to say, oh shit, like the light actually might be something I want to tap into.
Well, I think it actually kind of goes back to the role model thing. I think I was heavily influenced by dark music and aggression, you know, because of my father and his friends were very aggressive, and the drive I got from like Metallica and Slayer and bands like that, where, you know, obviously I didn't believe that there was a devil, but the aggression from the music that kind of was the fuel for my energy to the point towards the goals that I was trying to achieve. It really worked, and I had a lot of aggression. I didn't know where it was coming from, but I definitely had a lot. So when I put those two together, it really helped me achieve my goals. And then from therapy and sobriety and letting it, when you get into the darkness so much, it's the light is, I didn't want to say it at the time, but like I was scared of it, you know, because I was scared, like, what if it did catch me? You know, I didn't want to believe in a higher power, in a God, or, you know, the Christianity thing that is played really loud in America is a thing that throws me off. You know, I'm like, Noah has an ark. Like, no, he doesn't. You know, like, come on, man, have some common sense. But then I think that's where people write these stories and make, you know, it's like, you don't do this rule or you do this rule. And I'm like, if you listen to the Bible, there are some rules in there where a lot of us don't. Like, you know, a man sleeping with a man, that's bad. But you can eat pork now, but that's still in there. But like, why don't you go down that road? But you go down this road. It's like, because this man hates things and steers it the way he wants to, and that threw me off being a part of that. When I really let go of everything and was, you know, willing to accept whatever it took to be a good man. You know, because like I said earlier, I hurt people that I cared about, and I never wanted to do that again. So when I accepted the light, here's how it really happened, dude. I started praying right when I got sober, and when I first started praying, I was like, I feel insane. Who am I talking to? Like, seriously. And there's no answer, you know. I'm like, hey man, keep me safe. Like, I'm like, I don't know who I'm talking to. Yeah. And then one day in particular, I prayed because I knew I was going to skate with Tony, and I knew I was going to push it pretty hard that day. And I'm in my 50s. When you push it hard on a 13-foot high vert ramp, you gotta pray. So I prayed. I was like, hey God, you know, try to keep me safe today. I'd appreciate that. That day in particular, I got knocked out, and it was the third time I got knocked out that year, and it was a good one. I was out for like 15 minutes. And when I woke up, Tony assessed me. You know, I was around there for a couple of hours hanging out. He's like, "You're good now," you know, because we've dealt with concussions our whole lives. And I get in the car and I just start driving home, and a voice in my head says, "Kill yourself." Whoa! And I've been knocked out like over 30 times, so I know that when you hit your head, depending on how hard you hit it, there is a darkness, there is a negative thought process, there is a thing where I'm like, okay, you got a concussion. that's a dark thing to say. I put it down to hitting my head. And then it's whispering, this voice is whispering, kill myself. All the drive home, 2.5 hours.
Fuck.
Then I get back to my house and it's saying it to me on the couch. And I'm like, like, that's insane. Like, first of all, no, I will not. And second of all, what is happening in my head right now? Why is that such a clear thing that I'm hearing? And I go to bed that night and I remember saying, like, really, God? Like, I asked you to keep me safe and this is how you return? Doubting him even more. And then when I woke up in the morning, I heard a voice say, hey, Jason, you hit your head hard, dude. Eat some food, just rest today, like maybe take an ice bath. You'll be okay. And that voice was distinctly different than the other voice from the day before. And from there on out, when I heard that voice, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not religious. I am slowly becoming religious, but I just am not according to the people that have negative things to say on behalf of the Lord. To me, God spoke to me, and the voice before that was the devil. And the devil I have always answered to. I didn't realize it was him, because if I had of, I wouldn't have listened. But there was always like, take those drugs, sleep with those people, do that, hang out with these people, be dark, be dangerous, And then when I realized which two voices were there, it made me realize that I have taken a lot of advice from this dark entity. And that this voice has also always been there, but I've never listened to that because that's a pussy. And that's like how I was raised, to be tough, But once I realized, in my mind, that at that time that was what was happening, then whenever I prayed, I would get an answer. And I don't know, is it me? Is it my own voice? Probably. But at this point, the more I listen to it, the more it's very obvious that it's good advice, And sometimes it's advice that I don't want to hear, which makes it even more important. Because it's like, get up, get to the gym. You said you'd show up to that person, no matter what, show up for that person. So there's things that I do now where I help other people where old me be like, man, I'm tired, I ain't going today. And that voice is like, no, man, you said you would be there, show up. And, it's like, oh, you could hang out with that guy. That guy's going to drink around you. That's probably not a good idea. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I just won't do that. Or if I'm going to skate, I'm like, I'm pretty tired. And he's like, hey, man, you're in your 50s. You're pretty tired. Maybe don't skate today. Wait till tomorrow. So it's just like little things, sometimes big ones, sometimes little ones like that, where I just take that advice now. And ever since that day, I just don't make giant mistakes anymore. And it makes me realize that, for, 40 years where I just listened to the dark, because I thought that was the only thing that was going to save me. It's very obvious. Like, I was molested when I was a kid. I build this big, tough guy to protect the terrified inner child that lives within. I understand how my dynamic is now. But now that it's over, like, no one's going to do this to me ever again. I'm safe. So I don't need to be this big, scary person anymore, which is kind of like this look. It's overrated. It's not real. It's not who I am. It's like people see me and they're like, holy shit. And I'm like, I'm not like that. I love people. But I had to build this to survive. But now that I've made it here, it's funny. It's like, would I still look like this if I started all over again? Probably not, because I'm pretty secure with who I am. But this also tells a story of, of survival. So I'm not ashamed of it. But now I love myself. I forgive myself. And now it's just, it really is a beautiful thing to exist day to day. And it used to be, the only time it was ever good for me was if I won something, if I got high, if I got paid, if someone said that I was cool, a lady thought I was attractive. Like, it's where the Bible starts to make sense. Like, the sins, I don't even read it, I don't believe it, but there's where I see where the fundamentals of it they make sense to me. And this road you go down where don't go down that road too far because it's a long way back.
Yeah.
Trust me. You know?
Yes. I love what you were talking about role models before, about like picking pieces out.
Yeah.
I feel like, we talked a little bit about religion and how I was a pastor and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like maybe that's where I'm at. And you just helped me understand that like maybe after I studied all these different religions and everything, I found that like for me, it was healthy to like find these things. Like you said, the Bible still applies to me. There's these beautiful concepts and rules. Like you said, even just like shit that we would just know, like not to fuck with another man's wife, like shit that's just pretty common sense, but it's so applicable to today and and to our daily life. And so I really appreciate that perspective. One quick thing is, now that you do have this kind of religious, perspective, what is your perspective on death, and like how do you feel like you'll face that one day?
Well, there's a few more things that I want to do on this planet. So, and my youngest son is 16, so I don't think it would be good for me to go now. But I want to be successful one more time. That's why comedy means so much to me, because to be a pro skateboarder and radio show and fighting and all this stuff, this one's for all the right reasons. Like, I want to be good at comedy. I just want to be good at comedy. I don't want to be famous. I don't like, if it comes, great. I'm not opposed. I'm not like,
sure.
I hate money and free stuff. I'm not ridiculous. Let's be real. I love free stuff and money. That's cool. You know what I mean? Like, and attention. I'm an attention whore. But I want to be good at the craft. I want to master it, and I want to be able to go into a room full of people and have them all laughing their asses off, but also with a message at the end of it of positivity and that people can like go out there and do their thing and be good at something. Because it's important to try to be good at something in life, even if it's good dad. Like, I don't care what it is. Good at making bread. I don't, it's a good basketball player. I don't care. Just, you got to excel while you're here. And then when that's done, then I'm okay with, I'm scared of like the last couple seconds, I guess, but not really, like, I just want to live my life to the fullest. I want to do something big that helps people, man. And if I feel that's the scariest thing. When I feel like I've done enough, then I'll know it's time for me to leave. And part of me doesn't ever want to leave. Like, I'm sure we all think that. But like pain, like, I don't sweat pain, dude. I don't sweat danger. I don't sweat any of that stuff. I sweat not being here to watch my kids grow up. I mean, that's really it. I want my kids to like achieve their goals, be happy in their life, and then I can leave, So that's
powerful, man.
That's really it.
There's one more. This is kind of a wild ass. I've never done this before, but I just really respect you, and I think it would be really honoring for me. Would you mind kind of just closing us in a super quick prayer? I know it's crazy as crap.
What's funny is I got a girlfriend now, and she's sober too, and sometimes I try to pray with her before we eat.
Yeah.
And they're always funny because I don't pray. I don't, like, you probably have like a thing that you do,
like a thing,
Dear Lord, like, I don't.
Yes.
I start with, hey man.
No, I think that's why I asked, because I'm so interested, as someone that was a pastor, to someone who's not really religious,
not at
but
all.
believes in God.
Yeah, with no like, I have no influence in I don't know a religious person that is like showed me a path.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just completely like, I did it the other day where I was like, hey man, like, I'm really happy to be here. Like, thanks to I cooked the dinner, and my girlfriend has, like, say I'm gross. I'll be like, thanks for her boobs. They're pretty cool. I appreciate those. And she'll laugh, and so I'm more like that. That's a thing though. Like, you can say titties.
Yes,
God's okay with titties.
Of course,
he made
them.
titties.
Exactly.
Right. You can go, hey, that's offensive. You made them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can't get mad at me for liking boobs. You made the fucking things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love it, dude.
So,
I love it.
I don't know how to.
No, you don't have to. It's a crazy ass. It's just, but what you just explained was enough. I mean, you just showed people kind of what it's like for you to pray.
I just don't like the rule of you have to be a certain way. Like you have to be like this holier than that. Like I just don't believe that the holiest of men or women don't make mistakes. Or talk a certain way. If you talk a certain way, don't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
You know, like on purpose. Don't hurt anybody. Accidents happen.
Yeah.
Be remorseful if you do. You know, like love each other.
Yeah.
Try to take care of each other. I'm not saying like starve yourself to feed the homeless. I'm just saying like if there is an opportunity, that's the thing I notice. I'm open to it. I see it now. If there's an opportunity for me to help somebody, I usually wouldn't have seen it because I'm always thinking about myself.
Yeah.
Which is like what a lot of us do.
Yeah.
Now I'm sort of a little bit like, oh, I could maybe give that person some advice. They could take it or leave it, but it would be worth giving it, and maybe it makes their day a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know, even like complimenting somebody on their shoes or some, you know, like a lady in the hotel last night. I said I really liked her outfit. I don't want to sleep with her. I was just trying to say something nice so she had a good afternoon.
Yeah.
That's it. Little things, you know?
Yeah. Well, we'll end it with a quick prayer. God, whatever you are, we
do you do your hand like that?
No, I was just doing that. I was doing that for fun. I was just about to say, some people close their eyes, some people open their eyes.
You know what? I get in a 3-point stance to pray.
For real?
Yeah. A guy, my sponsor. No. He told a story once at a meeting where he's like, I get in a 3-point stance and I pray to God, and then I get up and I get fired up because he's like an American guy. And I was like, because in MMA, there's a few UFC fighters that do a 3-point stance. I don't watch football.
Yeah.
But I was like, 3-point stance? And I'm like, oh, those fighters got it from football because they're American. And plus my knees don't really work that good to get on my knees. But I get in a 3-point stance at least 20 times a day.
Yeah.
And it's never for me. Yeah. I pray that to believe that it's in God's hands, and what is going to happen is going to happen, and may I do the best I can with whatever they give me.
Hell yeah.
Him, her, them, I don't care. Yeah. I don't believe it's a white guy with a beard. I think that's a crazy thing to think. But also, if you think that, hell yeah, enjoy.
Enjoy. Dude, thank God for life, for titties, and for Jason Ellis. Dude,
that's a great prayer right there.
Yeah, you seriously, man, you were amazing. Thank you for an awesome day, man.
Thanks
and
for
being
me.
so inspiring to the team and so awesome. So thanks,
mate. Appreciate it.